Audio 1, Revered Gurudev, Some Touching Reminiscences. It must be considered my life's unique good fortune and coincidence that I received the nearness and protection of an avatari soul in the form of a Guru's power. After the death of Reverend Gurudev, many members of the mission insisted upon me to highlight those important inspirational incidents by which even the public at large can learn and be in the forefront on the path of public service and satisfy everyone's curiosity. The book, My Will and Heritage, written by Revered Gurudev, is today doing the work of a column of light for the devotees desiring salvation. That book is appropriate for knowing and understanding the extent of penance, fortitude, and labor behind his achievements. But there is eagerness in every devotee to learn about whatever I learnt by remaining with him as his humble follower and the various forms in which I saw him. I have been ignoring or avoiding their insistent demand for a long time, but ultimately I am willing to reveal those life's axioms on whose strength today I am in this position. In the book titled Pragyavtar Hamaare Gurudev, I have written about the incidents and occasions in the life of Gurudev. But you will read those inspirational incidents which occurred with me in the presence of Revered Gurudev and know the type of life I led at every step in different situations and what message he preached by his own conduct. Whatever I learnt and received by surrendering my ignorant self and made my life fulfilled, it is my belief that this book filled with the memories of this long life will give direction to every traveler on the path of public service. Hanumanji, staying on Rishyamuk mountains as the servant of King Sugriv, had recognized Bhagwan Shri Ram with his clever intelligence. In the same manner, I too recognized Revered Gurudev in the form of Shri Ram, and from that time onwards, my whole life has been surrendered to work with the attitude of no rest for me without doing the work of Shri Ram. Pandit Leelapat Sharma Ji. The first glimpse of Revered Gurudev. The principal worker of Gayatri Parivar in Dabra was Shri Dwarika Prasad Baderia Ji. Later on, Gurudev renamed him as Dwarika Prasad Chaitanya Ji, whom we all know as Chaitanya Ji. He gave me Gurudev's literature in Dabra. I read the literature and it impressed me so much that every day, until I read that literature, I used to be ill at ease. I started realizing that I had never come across a writer who had written such profound literature, because I had a liking for reading books. First, when the literature cast such a deep impression upon me, I had not cast my eyes upon Gurudev. I was only profoundly impressed by his literature. Whichever new book was printed, Shri Dwarika Prasad Chaitanya Ji would come and give it to me. One day he told me that his Gurudev is coming and that they are also going to perform the Panch Kundi Yag. I asked him to tell me about whatever work I could do as service for the above holy work. I also told him that I desired to have a glimpse of such a great man. Chaitanya Ji gave me a small pouch and told me, "This contains my wife's ornaments. By selling them, some finance will be arranged. And if you can arrange some more money, I will get help in carrying out the arrangements for the yajna." At that time, I was the president of the Association of Textile Mills. I asked him the amount of money required. He said that a sum of rupees 500 would be enough, and he will also try to collect some money. I asked him how a Panchkundi Yagya can be performed with a mere 500 rupees, and sent Chaitanya ji along with the secretary of the Textile Mills Association to various mill owners. That very day, nearly 3,100 rupees were received through their cooperation. When Chaitanya ji came, he said to me, "All my problems have been solved." This happened around 1956. At that time, a very glorious Yagya Pandal was made, and I told one mills engineer and other staff to help in Yagya because I was already a worshipper of Gayatri, and this was a Gayatri Yagya. Dwarika Prasad ji asked me to be the host of the Yagya. I agreed, and then the Kalash Yatra was taken out in Dabra. At that time, there was a sannyasi ashram in Dabra, and I used to visit it daily. I first studied the route of the Kalash Yatra from Chaitanya ji. It was a glorious procession. When the procession came near sannyasi ashram, Chaitanya ji told me that now I will have to take 10 ritual baths. I agreed and took the 10 ritual baths, and then the Kalash Puja was carried out by the ladies. The procedure of the ritual cast a deep impression upon me. As we started further with the chant of Kirtans, the procession became a long one. We came to the Yagshala. Here the pots were kept after the ritual worship. Prasad was distributed. A plan was made for Yagya program, and the day's work was over. That day, Gurudev was to arrive by train. I had gone to the railway station to receive Gurudev half an hour before the arrival time. The train came. All of us had garlands in our hand. We looked into the first class and second class bogies, but Gurudev was not to be found. In my mind's eye, I had imagined Gurudev with a tripand mark on his forehead and with a rosary of the Rudraksh beads around his neck. I had imagined him to be wearing saffron robes. I had imagined him to be looking like a traditional monk. But I could not see any person on the railway platform. I was disappointed and thought that Gurudev had not arrived. From the last third compartment of the train, a gentle, manly-looking person carrying a tin box and a bedding under his armpit came walking. Chaitanya ji ran to him, bowed down, and took the box and the bedding from his hand. We were all watching and thought that some relative of his had come by train. He was wearing a long robe reaching up to the knee, and over that he was wearing a short jacket. I could not believe that this was Gurudev. I asked Chaitanya ji, "Has Gurudev not arrived?" Chaitanya ji indicated by his hand's gesture that this was Gurudev. All of us bowed down to Gurudev. On seeing Gurudev, I felt that he is really the symbol of Indian culture. When I read his literature, I had seen him in my mind as the best author. When I saw him in his simple dress on the station, I had a glimpse of the Indian culture. We brought Gurudev in a procession from the station to the Yagya Pandal. During the day, the Yagya was performed, and in the evening, Gurudev used to give lectures. When I first heard Gurudev's lecture, I said, "He is a great revolutionary thinker." It was a very revolutionary lecture. He was very much angry with the society. When he came down from the dais after his lecture, he told Chaitanya ji, "Son, you have made a very good arrangement for the yagya and for food and accommodation. You must have done a lot of hard work for meeting its expenses. Dwaraka Prasad Chaitanya ji said, Gurudev, with your blessings, I could make the whole arrangement for this expense within a day with the help of just 4 to 5 people. I was standing there. Pointing towards me, Chaitanya ji said, he is Pandit, president of the Association of Textile Mills. I had met him and he phoned some mill owners and arranged for 3100 rupees within 4 to 5 hours. Within that amount, very good arrangements were possible. Gurudev looked at me and talked with me for some time. I returned to the mill. In the morning, bringing Dwaraka Prasad ji, Gurudev came walking to me in the mill. Gurudev made me sit near him and asked about my children's education and about my daughter. I said, the eldest daughter is married and the 2 younger boys are studying. He asked about the health of all, just like a father asking his son about his whole family. My mother had died when I was just 2 years old, and father had died when I was about 8 to 10 years of age. I was the only child of my parents. I told him about practically all the events of my life. The talk went on for quite a long time. I felt that I was related to Gurudev since my previous birth and that my father has come to me. He called my wife, discussed her health and asked almost everything. He talked with me in a very intimate manner and it left a deep impression upon me. When he returned to the Yagya Pandal, I also came walking with him. The Yagya was started and after it ended, there was Gurudev's lecture. In that, he told us to give up one bad habit and adopt one good habit, and said that those who will not give up one bad habit and take up one good habit will not get the benefit of the Yagya. You have called me here, so you must go only after giving Dakshina. One who has not taken part in the Yagya and yet gives me an offering will definitely get the benefit of the Yagya. He called everyone near him and asked him what bad habit he had given up and which good one he had adopted. Hundreds gave up smoking bidi, cigarette, non-vegetarian food, liquor and gambling, etc., and adopted one good habit, such as recitation of the Gayatri Mantra, touching the feet of elders, sweet talk, and eating food only after first offering it to God. Up to that day, I had not seen a yagya where a person is made to give up a bad habit. So, I asked Gurudev about the relationship between yagya and giving up a bad habit and adopting a good one. In all the yagyas I've seen, the priests recite the mantras, but no priests ask others to give up the bad habits. You have adopted a new approach in this yagya. Gurudev said, Son, yagya is only a symbol. Rituals are not everything. I keep telling people that the real aim of the yagya is to give up one bad habit and adopt one good one. Those who conduct yagya by mere recitation and lecture, they merely mislead and fulfill their ego. This left a big impression upon me. When it was time for Gurudev to go, he said, Son, keep writing to me and spread my thoughts here. Dwaraka Prasad is just a boy. Keep on helping him. I said, Gurudev, I shall certainly utilize my available time in propaganda. After this program, Gurudev's letters started coming to me. Recently, I have published these letters in a book called Patra Pathiya. I too used to write back to Gurudev. Now, I was attracted to Gayatri Parivar. I had started taking part in all its programs. Gradually, I also learned how to perform ritual worship and started going from home to perform yagya. Audio 2. extended son's lifespan. Mohanlal Dalal was doing brokerage for our mill. His 1-year son died. When I heard the sad news, I went to console him. He said, "How long can I have courage now I've lost my confidence? I will give up my life." He said, "3 sons were born to me and each one died within 1 year from birth." On hearing this, I too felt very sad. I told him, "This time a boy will be born to your wife and he will live a full life. At the time of his birth, we will perform Gayatri Yag and at the same time perform the naming ceremony also." I returned home and after consoling him, after that once again his wife gave birth to a boy. I went to him and told him with full faith, the boy will live a full life. I made arrangements for a 5-kundi yagya. Chaitanya ji used to conduct yagyas in those days. He arranged a beautiful yagya pandal. The broker called all his relatives. The yagya was performed and with the help of local workers of the mission. We had not informed anyone about it and not dropped a letter to Gurudev about it. The yagya was conducted with great pomp. All the people of Dabra took part in it. Now it was time for the naming ceremony and Mohanlal told me, "You only should name him." After the ritual of the naming ceremony, I gave him the name Guru Prasad. The yagya went on for 3 days in a very nice manner. The 4th day was the last day of the yagya. The program went on very well. After the conclusion of the yagya, all those present were doing the parikrama, that is, going around the holy fire. The sounds of the Psalm Yagya Roop Prabho Hamaare were echoing in the atmosphere. Suddenly, unknown to anyone, the Yagya Pandal caught fire. The Yagya Pandal was decorated with saris and there were lots of goods. Within a short time, the Pandal turned to ashes, but the picture of Goddess Gayatri and Revered Gurudev were unscathed. Thousands of men and women were present, but nobody was even slightly hurt or burned. The other priests who were present made a great commotion and said that the fire was the result of chanting the wrong mantras and because women had taken part in the ritual of the yagya. Everywhere there was a feeling of horror. All the relatives of Mohanlal, men and women, had tears in their eyes. They all started crying. I too felt shocked and wondered, what has happened? I too started repenting. Suddenly, I gathered up courage and spoke into the mic. "Brothers and sisters, this yag has been initiated by me. Whatever its punishment, let it come to me, and whatever its benefit, may they go to those who took part in it." After a lot of persuasion, the crying stopped. Because I was the president of the Association of Textile Industry, nobody said anything to me, but fear persisted in my heart. Anyone in my place would have suffered badly. I could not sleep the whole night. When I went to the office in the morning, there were letters lying on my desk. On top was an inland letter written by Gurudev. I opened it and read it. It was written 1 day before the fire broke out. He had written in it in the morning after his daily worship. In that, Gurudev had written, "Son, you tell a man that next time he will get a son who will lead a long life. But the deeds of his previous birth are such that his son cannot live for a full lifespan. The life of this boy was also short. But you gave him the faith in performing the yagya and told him that with the blessings of Gayatri Mata and Yagya Bhagwan, the boy will have a full life. Son, fire will break out in this yagya, and there will be a lot of crying and weeping. You too will be worried, but do not be worried. The Yagya and Gayatri Mata have extended the lifespan of the boy because the boy did not have long to live. As such, a sad event was going to happen in his home. But Mother Gayatri and the Yagya deity have taken the responsibility on themselves and extended the life of the boy. Whatever weeping and crying was going to happen in his home will take place in the Yagya itself, and you should not worry. The lifespan of the boy has been increased. I kept the letter with me and after some time got the horoscope of the boy made. I and the broker Mohanlal showed it to a learned astrologer of Gwalior, who said, "This boy's life is very short." After reading the letter, I thought, when I have not written to Gurudev, how did he come to know? Then it dawned in my mind. The spiritual endeavor endows a person with such powers that he comes to know about the future events even though he may be miles away. Now my faith in Gurudev has increased even more. I thought that Gurudev is a great man who is Trikaldarshi. Whenever I mentioned this event to others, they used to be astounded too. The first glimpse of Reverend Mataji. Now I thought up to now I was corresponding with Gurudev. But now I must go to Mathura to visit Gurudev and Mataji. I came to Mathura. Gurudev used to stay in the Akhand Jyoti Sansthan at Ghiya Mandi in Mathura. When I reached there, some workers of the Sansthan told me that Gurudev had gone to the bazaar for some work. When the Revered Mataji learned about my visit, she called me up to her. I bowed and touched her feet and sat near her. She asked about the well-being of the family. Mataji brought tea for me and said, "Son, while you're taking this tea, I will prepare lunch for you." After some time, I ate lunch. When I was taking the plate and cup for washing, Mataji took them from me. I insisted very much with her that I should wash the plate, Mataji. Mataji asked me, "Son, tell me whether dishes are washed by a son or a mother." I am your mother, but you have forgotten me. When Mataji said these words, tears flowed down my eyes because my mother had died when I was just 2 years of age. No mother had said such words to me so far. Mataji gave me so much love, as only the mother who gives birth to her own son can. I felt as if I had taken birth from this mother only. Mataji changed my thinking completely. I thought that when I first met Gurudev at Dabra, he gave me the love which a father gives to his son, and when I came to Mathura, I realized that the kind of love a mother gives her son, I received the same from Mataji. When I was staying at Dabra, every now and then I used to remember Gurudev and Mataji. When I started going to Mathura, both Gurudev and Mataji would tell me, "Son, you must certainly come to the 1008 Kund Yag." Now my mind used to think continuously of Mathura. Whenever I was towards Delhi, I used to halt invariably at Mathura. The milk of Kamdhenu. One day I had come to Gurudev along with 6 to 7 persons. At Mathura I told him, "We shall meet Gurudev." When Mataji came with a glass of milk for each one, I told her, "Mataji, I will not drink milk because it causes gas in me." At that time I was overweight too. When I said no for milk, Gurudev said, "Son, drink the milk of Kamdhenu." I said, "If it is Kamdhenu's milk, I will definitely drink it." Gurudev said, "Son, let us show you the Kamdhenu cow." I said, "I shall certainly see the Kamdhenu cow." Pointing to a brass pot in the kitchen, Gurudev said, "This is Kamdhenu." I said, "This is a pot. Where is the cow?" Gurudev said, "Son, I order 1 liter of milk every day and live by spending 200 rupees a month. We are 5 people. Taiji, Gurudev's mother, was also alive at that time. So you are 7 and we are 5. Totally we are 12, sharing 1 liter of milk. Mataji has added water and sugar and given the milk to you. How can this produce gas?" I was very much surprised that this person, whom the whole country knows as Guru, carries on his life in just 200 rupees a month. This left a very deep impression on all of us. Gurudev said, "Son, that person is a Brahmin who carries out his living with minimum expenses. He provides very little comfort for himself, but cares for the comfort and happiness of others." I was very much ashamed, thinking that I spend without thinking and yet call myself a Brahmin. I asked Gurudev, "Do you not receive donations?" Gurudev said, "Son, the intelligence gets corrupted when one eats from the money for donations." I saw the true Brahmin in Gurudev and believed myself fulfilled on seeing such a person. Audio 3. The Great Yagya of 1958. In 1958, I came to Mathura for the 1008 Kundi Yagya. Many camps were set up around the site of the Yagya. I was given accommodation in a camp. When Gurudev heard about my arrival, he called me at 10 at night and said, "You have to maintain the accounts for this Yagya." I was new. The old workers of the mission raised objection and suggested to Gurudev not to give the task of accounts to a new worker. God knows how Gurudev trusted me so much. Dwarka Prasad ji had come from Dabra. I took his help and, believing him to be my special person, made him my associate. The Yagya Pandal was very beautiful. Cooking was going on. We went along with Gurudev where he went, and whatever money was offered at his feet, we were collecting it. The donation money was coming to us only. We estimated that nearly 500,000 persons had come to the Yagya. The money that came to us as offering to Gurudev was so much that we made payment for all the tents and the Yagya Pandal. Our estimate was there were more than 500,000 people. We asked Gurudev, how were the expenses for feeding these people met? We are not able to understand. He said, "Son, you are worried in your accounting calculations. This was God's work and God completed it." I was wondering how so much money came to a person who lives within 200 rupees a month and lives in a dilapidated house. I realized that this is not a human being, but a divine power. From that day onwards, I saw Mother Gayatri in Gurudev. From that day, my faith increased 1,000-fold in Gurudev and Mataji. Glimpse of Lord Shri Krishna himself. After some days, I received a letter from Gurudev which said that the governor of Uttar Pradesh was coming to Gayatri Tapobhumi. So I should come to Mathura for 2 days to make arrangements. I went to Mathura for 2 days. I had kept the total literature written by Guruji on the stall. At that time, there were no workers of the mission, but all the high-level officers of Mathura had come. The governor saw Gurudev's literature and talked with him. He addressed a gathering in the hall. The governor said, "I had come to Mathura for a darshan of Lord Krishna. I visited all the temples, went to Mathura, Vrindavan, but I could never see Lord Shri Krishna anywhere. But when I came to Gayatri Tapobhumi, I surely saw Lord Shri Krishna in Acharyaji. Hearing these words from the governor, my faith in Gurudev increased 1,000-fold. I thought, I must climb on the bandwagon of this god. Progressive caste meeting. Once Gurudev arranged a progressive caste meeting at Mathura, in which I too was invited from Dabra. Pujyavar desired to end the restrictions of branches and sub-branches in the caste. Today, a number of problems have arisen because of sub-caste and their branches. Especially for arranging marriages too, many obstacles arise because of this reason. The die-hardness of the sub-caste must be dissolved and merged with the larger periphery of the main caste. It will help to a large extent in removing the complications in establishing relations for marriage. The Creator has created this creation above class and caste differences. These differences are the result of the inferior understanding of human beings. On listening to the lectures of Revered Gurudev, I too resolved to do something. Pujyavar said that the demand of dowry is harassing innumerable innocent girls, before as well as after the marriage. So many girls have lost their lives because of this demon. We must have compassion towards these daughters. The incarnation Bhagwan Shri Ram, upon seeing the mounds of the bones of the sages, had raised his arms and resolved, I shall destroy these demons. Today, society's culture is attacked from all sides by bad customs, bad traditions, and evil conduct. To remain unaware by remaining inactive, lazy, and indulgent at such a time amounts to irresponsibility. The trend of ostentatious and expensive marriages must be stopped. Mass marriages should be arranged in the inspiring atmosphere. I have published 15 books on these subjects. Prepare a plan to have these read in every home. By utilizing your time, labor, and money in removing these bad customs, do your duty for the era at this very special time. I don't want to say anything to those who are ignorant of my thoughts. I have great hopes for those who have accepted my thoughts within their hearts. This meaningful lecture of Revered Gurudev prodded my heart. The Revered made me aware of the pain in his heart and my duty towards the society. I bought the 15 books and read them thoroughly from beginning to end, pondered deeply upon them. I also made a plan to carry them in my shoulder bag from house to house to make people read them. One of my close friends was Shri Rangi Lalji. I gave these books to him for reading. He liked Gurudev's thoughts and had the desire to read more books. He would come to me, take Gurudev's books, read them, and return to them. This went on. I had obtained all the literature written by Gurudev. I was successful from Mathura in spreading the nectar of knowledge by taking the books from home to home, and also in arranging sacramental rituals as well as listing subscribers for the magazine Akhand Jyoti. I could do so because, as president of the Textile Mills Association, my contacts and sphere of influence were far and wide. The sannyasi's conquest of taste. Daily I used to go for a morning walk. On the way there was a halt of sannyasi. He used to undertake various projects for performing austerities in his spiritual quest. It was my routine to half for a few minutes in his hut, bow down to him and exchange views with him. He too became interested in my spiritual quest and in hearing about the thoughts of Revered Gurudev. One day, while returning from my morning walk, I did not see Sannyasi ji and inquired from his disciple. He told me that he is in his inner chamber for a special prayer. I was very much surprised. On the second day also, when he was not seen, I sat down near the closed door of the chamber so as to be able to hear him coming. But instead, I heard repeatedly some words of the sannyasi: Eat! Why are you not eating? This became a mystery for me. On the third day, the sannyasi was sitting outside the chamber and his disciple was crushing and squeezing neem leaves under his order. I was very eager to know more about this. I had great faith in the sannyasi, and his deep love for me emboldened me to ask him, Swamiji, what spiritual endeavor you have undertaken in the last 3 days? Before answering my question, he told me to go and see inside and then come back. I went inside and saw that varieties of fruits, food, and sweets were kept there. I started wondering about the purpose of these foods there. I told the revered sannyasi that fruits, food, and sweets are lying there. Swamiji told me that his mind was very eager for past several days for good food, and he did all this to punish it. Now I am drinking the juice of bitter neem and telling my mind that now if it is tempted for a good tasty food, it will get this type of food. He further added that during last 3 days, he merely showed the food to his mind, but he has not eaten anything. Now the mind has become straight. On controlling the mind, all the other senses come under control. I took inspiration from the spiritual endeavor of the revered sannyasi that every wish of the mind should not be fulfilled. And one must always keep in mind that mind should not be directionless. Shri Dwarika Prasad ji also started coming with me for daily walk, and we started talking about the wider propagation of the mission. One day, while exchanging views, it dawned to us, why not make this hermitage of the sannyasi as a yagshala and conduct a program of weekly yagya? Sannyasi ji willingly agreed. We prepared the yagshala, and every Sunday we started the program of Gayatri Yagya. All the workers liked this work for giving a new pace to all the activities of the mission. The Revered Gurudev encouraged and guided us by his letters to us. Audiobook broke away the restrictions of subcaste. Those whom we had influenced by the literature of Revered Gurudev included Rangilalji Gaud and one Shrotiyaraji, a Sanadya Brahmin. One day, Shrotiyaji said to me, how nicely Revered Gurudev has written regarding ideal marriages, and if such things happened in the society, then the difficulties we experience these days in finding husbands for girls will not exist. I asked him, which difficulties are arising? He said, if we find a good husband and a good home, then the problem of subcaste comes up. If we go to people of our caste, they demand dowry. I told him, the solution to the problem is that Rangi Lalji is your close friend. His son is also worthy. Then why not establish a relationship? Shrotiyaji said, that is all right. But I am a Sanadya Brahmin and Rangi Lalji is a Gaud Brahmin. We both are ready, but our wives are not. They are saying, what will the society say? How can we overcome these traditions? We have made all efforts for making both of them to agree, explained the form of ideal marriage. They said that the family members will not like the lack of dowry. I said, the boy and the girl are cultured. They are educated and with good qualities. Then we will establish this relationship. We will fight the society. Only the bride and the groom should be ready. I was able to persuade both the sides to agree to the marriage. The remaining elderly and orthodox people refused to be present at the marriage. We took the young men and the workers of the Gayatri Parivar in the marriage procession and went. Disputes arose over there. We were confident that Gurudev's thoughts will achieve victory because his blessings are with us. Ultimately, the victory was ours. That is the truth, and we received public support also. In all these efforts, we also received the cooperation of Dwarika Prasad Baderia ji. He himself had first given me Gurudev's literature, and because of that literature only I came across the supreme power. The passion of spreading the thoughts of revered Gurudev in every home had gripped me. My faith went on increasing. I was at ease if I was not able to spend. I was not at ease if I was not able to spend 2 hours daily in this task. Broke the boundaries between the rich and the poor. One day, one Munimji came to me and admiringly said, "How much opposition you faced and yet settled the marriage between the Sanadhya Brahman and Gaud Brahman." I said modestly that it is not I, but my Gurudev who made the marriage possible. I am merely a postman. His thoughts are very powerful. This relationship has been established with his power only. Munimji said, "Please make one request to your Gurudev on my behalf. I have a highly educated daughter, and it will be good if she gets a worthy husband. I do not have the capacity to pay dowry. I am very much worried." I assured him that with Gurudev's power, his problem will be solved. Munimji's boss had a son. He had read Gurudev's literature, and the trend of his thinking was in tune with the message of the mission. But to change the thinking of his family members was a difficult task. But I had great faith that with Gurudev's compassion, everything will be all right. I was able to persuade the boss to agree, but could succeed in persuading his wife and family members only after several days. I told them that the girl bringing the dowry will have the arrogance of thinking that my father has given the money. She will not be able to look after the home properly, nor will serve with love. She will consider herself as the Sethani. This Munim's daughter is beautiful, has good qualities, and is educated. She will serve and respect all of you. There is no benefit in wasting money after after ostentatious marriage. The meaning of the word Seth is Shrestha, that is best. I made them thoroughly realize that by ignoring the thoughts of Gurudev, there can only be downfall and not uplift. In the end, all arrangements were made for an ideal marriage, and in an inspiring atmosphere. An ideal marriage was performed in the Vedic system. Among the spectators, many persons lauded the ceremony and expressed hatred for the dowry hungry people. Right thinking people said that the initiative of Sethji in adopting this best attitude is inspiring and ideal. The orthodox people thus received a slap on the face. I was very much satisfied with my success. Revered Gurudev now started publishing the news of such marriages in the journal Yug Nirman Patrika. Revered Gurudev asked me to write the details of this news. Gurudev published the details sent by me. One day, when I went to Mathura, Mataji was present with Gurudev. Mataji was reading out letters and Gurudev was writing the answers. As soon as I reached, he said, "Son, you have come. We were remembering you only. All the work for the mission done by you at Dabra is worth following by the other branches. I am very much pleased. Tell us everything about breaking the barriers of the subcaste and the marriage, and also about the marriage of the clerk's daughter with the boss's son." I told everything. Mataji was also very much pleased and said, I have got many sons, but you are my dearest. Revered Gurudev blessed me and said, I am always with those who are doing my work. Those who are merely worshipping the picture, chant the rosary, expect my blessings, but when it comes to dedication, abnegation, and ideal conduct, they shy away. They are not my disciples. To be real disciples, you will have to prove yourself by the language of surrender and dedication. Spiritual benefit is also not achieved by mere worship. Spiritualism must pervade your whole being. Promotion of the Veds. One day, I went to Akhand Jyoti Sansthan, Mathura, where Gurudev Mataji was staying. Gurudev said, Son, I was remembering you. It is good that you have come. I said, Gurudev, tell me what I have to do. Gurudev said, the translation of all the 4 Veds is now ready. Now you have to do one work. Take a minimum of 5 sets of the 4 Veds. People have forgotten the Veds. Now, the Veds will reach every home. I took the 5 sets and went to Gwalior. When I reached there, I learned that Saint Vinoba had come to Gwalior and was staying at Murar. I went to Vinobaji with the volumes of the Veds. I touched his feet and said, I wish to present to you one set of the Veds. Vinobaji said, leave them with me, come in the morning. First, I wish to read them. I did accordingly. Next day, I went to Vinobaji and said, by now you must have gone through the Veds, now please accept the gift. He said, today my lecture is arranged at Gwalior camp. When I call you there, bring the Veds there. So I went to Gwalior camp where Vinobaji came on the stage to give his lecture. I was standing nearby with 3-4 friends. Vinobaji first said, one who had offered the Veds to me at Murar may please come here and present the Veds to me. I went on the stage and gave him the set of Veds. Vinobaji kept the Veds on his head and started swaying with happiness and said, I bow down to the sage who has made this translation. Everybody should read these Veds. A very easy translation has been made. I have gone through them. The moment I came down from the stage, people started asking for the sets of the Veds. I had only 4 sets with me, which were sold in no time. That very moment I boarded a bus from Gwalior camp for Mathura because Vinobaji was to lecture there for 4 days. I came to Mathura and took with me 100 sets from the Akhand Jyoti Sansthan. Within one day, all the 100 sets were sold out at Gwalior camp. Had there been 100, 200 more sets, they too would have been sold. After some days, I came and met Revered Gurudev and Mataji in their Ghiya Mandi house. Smilingly, Gurudev asked, Son, what happened to those 100 sets? How many are remaining? I said, Gurudev, they were sold out within 2 hours. If I had 100, 200 more sets, they too would have been sold out. Gurudev said, Son, whosoever comes here, he hardly takes one set with him, and that too after a lot of persuasion. How were you able to sell so many? I told the entire story to Gurudev. Gurudev and Mataji said, if we get even a few sons with such dedication, then our thoughts can reach every home, not only in India but all over the world. Gurudev said, Son, all my blessings are with you. You should spread my thoughts in every home. From then onwards, whenever I went to Mathura, I would carry Gurudev's literature with me. I also used to order literature from Dabra. From that time onwards, my liking has been for Gurudev's literature. Until and unless I read daily the thoughts of Gurudev, I used to be very upset. Whenever I read his literature, I feel that I am sitting with Gurudev and talking with him. Any person can get the benefit of sitting near him by reading his literature. Today, people offer sandal paste and flowers on the picture of Revered Gurudev and Revered Mataji. Make an offering of food. hail them, recite before the pictures. But when we ask them to be near Gurudev by reading his literature, they say they have no time. Those who wish to sit with Gurudev and talk to him should read his book daily. The greatest service to him is service to his thoughts. Gurudev, a true Brahmin. One day, I came to Akhand Jyoti Sansthan. Gurudev used to walk from there to Tapobhumi. I too walked with him there. After bowing down to Gayatri Mata in the temple, we sat in the open compound in sunlight in the cold season. The same day, industrialist Ghanshyam Das Birla came to Tapobhumi and sat near Gurudev, and they chatted for a long time. Birla ji told Gurudev, "There is considerable expense over yagya etc. in Tapobhumi. Acharya ji, if you wish, I too can help you." Gurudev asked Birla ji, "Who gives you the money?" Birla ji said, "God gives me." Gurudev said, "I too know God. Why should I not ask him directly?" On hearing this, Birla ji became quiet. Seeing Gurudev's tremendous faith in God, my head bowed down to him. I thought, how much confidence Gurudev has. From that moment, I too decided that I will not ask from anyone. Whenever I required money, then I have borrowed from the members of the mission and in time returned all the money, but have not asked from anyone. Gurudev has given me every type of education. By sitting with him, his thoughts have thoroughly influenced me. Gurudev used to teach by his own conduct. One day I came to Gayatri Tapobhumi with Gurudev. There was a small room in Gayatri Tapobhumi. Gurudev sat down near the Yagshala and I too sat down near him. I used to listen to what he would talk with others. A person came and offered a bundle of currency notes to him. Gurudev said, "What will I do with this?" and returned the money. But that man insisted that Gurudev should accept the money and did not take the money back. Gurudev took the money and told him, "Come with me." I too went with them. We went to a shop in the bazaar. Gurudev bought blankets with the money and distributed them to the poor persons who were shivering in the cold. I wondered at Gurudev's compassion for the poor. Whenever he saw any unhappy person, tears would come to his eyes and he would immediately distribute whatever there was with him and thus share his unhappiness. Gurudev was such an ocean of compassion. Whenever Gurudev read in the paper that a girl was burnt for the reason of dowry, tears would come to his eyes. He was very angry with the demand of dowry. He was very angry against evil social customs. He was a great revolutionary. Throughout the day, he did service to the society. I have learnt a lot in my life from Gurudev. One day, Gurudev was going into Agyatwas. At that time, he had called 30 to 40 workers. Behind the Gayatri temple, where now mission workers are staying, was a hall. Now it has been divided into rooms. Gurudev had given a lecture there. When Gurudev went into Agyatwas, I was very much pained. Mataji said, "Let him do his work. I am your mother and I am near you." Mataji thus consoled me. Audio 5. Akhand Deep and Missions Work. I went to Dabra and was inspired there that I should start an Akhand Deep. I asked my wife. She said, "Okay, I will assist fully." I lighted the Akhand Deep in the morning and started reciting the Gayatri Mantra daily in the morning and evening. When I was staying at Dabra, I used to recite the mantra in the afternoon also. I used to recite by counting 24 rosaries in the morning and 24 in the evening, each rosary containing 108 beads. Now, I had a great attachment to the work of the mission. Every evening, I used to go to people's home for performing sacramental rituals such as birthday sacraments, etc. It was a rule with me to perform at least 2 to 3 sacraments. I had prepared a shoulder bag in which to carry the necessary utensils, pictures of Gurudev Mataji, picture of Mother Gayatri, and Havan Samagri. After performing the ritual, I used to bless the person by the Swasti Vachan. Whichever home I visited, the neighbors used to be highly impressed and asked me to perform sacraments for their children's birthday. By performing these birthday sacraments, may influence had spread widely. Whenever I went to the bazaar, people would get up and bow down. Everyone used to respect me, and this inspired me to employ all my available time in performing various sacraments. The money received as offering was immediately utilized in establishing a Gyan Mandir. In all these homes, Gurudev's literature was read. Now the Pandit within me, willing to perform sacraments, had become firmly attached to myself. Wherever I went, people would offer me fruits, milk, and sweets, and my health too had improved. Performing sacraments had become a dedication for me. From Dabra, I came to Gopal Mill at Gwalior. I used to look after the work of Dabra as well as Gwalior. Now I used to stay more at Gwalior, where I had brought the Akhand Deep also. At Gwalior also, I used to go from home to home for performing sacramental rituals and was able to influence men and women. At that time, there was no branch of the mission at Gwalior. Sri Satnarayan Pandya, father of Dr. Pranav Pandya, was a civil judge there. He too was very impressed by Gurudev's thoughts. I used to visit him from time to time. At that time, there was prohibition for meeting judges, but even then he used to help in activities of the mission. Dr. Amal Kumar Datta, currently a worker at Shanti Kunj, was practicing medicine at the time in Gwalior. He used to visit me on his motorcycle to do the work of the mission, visit me at Dabra if I was there, and employed his time for missions work. Gurudev came to Gwalior to fetch me. Once Gurudev had come to Gwalior. He was grandly welcomed there because the people at whose homes I had performed the sacraments had warmly welcomed him. In those days, I used to perform a single Kund Yagya and Gurudev used to lecture. Now onwards, wherever Gurudev had time, he used to come alone and would stay with me in the jungle, in the Gopal mill, and would discuss with me his philosophy. Shri Chote Lal Garg was the engineer of the GSC mill. He was highly impressed by the mission's work. He had purchased some land for constructing a housing colony. From the same land, he donated a plot for Gayatri temple. Today, there is a Gayatri Shakti Peeth in the temple and the colony has been named Gayatri Colony. One day Gurudev told me, "Son, now I need you. Give up your material world and give me your promise." I said, "I have responsibilities. When my resignation is accepted and all the work completed, I shall come to you." After my resignation was accepted at the mill, I bought a house in the camp area and took the Akhand Deepak over there. My elder son Ram was then studying. His education was stopped and he started a shop for the repair of radios and TV because he had taken a course in radio and TV repairs. For this purpose, a shop was taken on rent at Daulatganj, and then I wrote to Gurudev that now I am coming to Mathura. Gurudev replied, "You should not come. I am coming there to fetch you." He had also fixed a date. When the people of the Gwalior branch learned the news, they arranged an 11 Kund Yagya and sent out invitations to branches at Bhind, Morena, Shivpuri, etc. It was a very good function. Gurudev stayed with me for 3 days at Gwalior. All the 3 days he used to sit near the Deepak only. On the third day he said, "Now don't pour any ghee in the lamp. Now I have merged its flame in the Akhand Deepak at Mathura. Taking me with him, Gurudev came to Gwalior. Gwalior branch gave us a grand send-off. The elder son Ram was given the shop for repairs of radio and TV. The younger son Satish was studying. At Mathura, I was sitting in the house at Ghiya Mandi and Gurudev was lying on an old cot. I told Gurudev, I am almost uneducated. I lost my parents during my childhood. I studied whatever little I could with my efforts. Gurudev smiled and said, Kabir was not educated. I asked, will I have to perform some austerities or some such thing? Gurudev said, you have to do nothing of the kind. You just do my work and involve your body, mind, and intelligence in spreading my thoughts. I had handed over my Provident Fund money to Gurudev. Gurudev gave that money to Revered Mataji. Mataji took the money and asked me, Son, whose money is this? I said, Mataji, it is yours. Mataji said, I can use it wherever I wish. I said, Mataji, you can give it to whomsoever you wish, except to my two sons. Upon this, Gurudev smiled and said, now keep it. I had forbidden Gurudev from revealing about this money to anyone. Even then, Gurudev wrote in the Yug Nirman Yojana Patrika that whatever his wealth, he has given it to me and has told me not to reveal it to anyone. I started living at Gayatri Tapobhumi. After going there, I became very ill and suffered from diarrhea, vomiting and fever. Mataji used to come, wash my clothes and prepare tea for me. Some days Mataji had to come twice a day to Gayatri Tapobhumi to look after me. It used to pain me very much to think that whereas I had come here to serve, Mataji was serving me. My body was also heavy. There was so much attack of vomiting and diarrhea that I used to feel as if I would die. I was half dead, unable even to walk. Gurudev used to come and wash and clean me. I said, Gurudev, please send me to Ram at Gwalior. I shall come when I become all right. One day, Mahesh Saxena had come there from Gwalior. I went with him to Gwalior. At that time, Ram's shop was not doing well. When I went there was additional expense of my medicines. So Ram gave a newspaper advertisement saying that he will repair radio or TV clients in homes. In this way, he was pulling on for our expensive. My son-in-law was a doctor at Khurja. Ram wrote to him saying that father's health is very bad and that he should immediately come down to Gwalior. My daughter and son-in-law immediately came down from Khurja and on seeing me were much displeased and said, now no one can cure him. When he had all the facilities and comforts at the mills, where was the necessity for going to Gayatri Tapobhumi where there are no facilities? Then he brought injections and started treatment. They stayed with me for a fortnight. My health recovered and I started taking food also. At that time, Ram received a letter from Gurudev saying that Ram had taken a lot of trouble, but now father's health will be all right and that he should not worry. Gradually, I started feeling better and upon complete recovery, I returned to Mathura. Gurudev said, son, before a cloth is dyed, it is first washed thoroughly, only then the cloth gets the proper color. Now your body's cleansing has been done by Gayatri Mata and now you must be feeling light in the body. I said, yes, Gurudev. Now my body is much better than before. I feel light in the body. Afterwards, Gurudev showed me many natural remedies which I adopted and started keeping healthy. Shivers started at Gayatri Tapobhumi. Gurudev started conducting workshops there. I used to look after those workshops. At that time, 20 to 25 devotees used to come to the Shivir. We used to wake them up at 4 a.m. and take them to Yamuna river for a bath. I had prepared a torch. I used to light it up and carry it in front, and behind me would come the batches of the devotees. They would finish their bath in the river and return with me. There was no sweet water in the Gayatri Tapobhumi area, only a well with brackish water. Nearby was a temple of Chamunda Mata, and we used to bring water from a well there. One utensil was given to each devotee. We all filled our utensils and brought them with us. That water used to last till the evening. All the devotees used to sleep on bare floor without any mattress. Every morning, revered Mataji would come and meet the devotees. If anyone was ill, she would prepare tea for him, prepare gruel for him, and even wash the clothes of those who were ill. One day it so happened that Sri Haridya Asthaji, who had come from Bhind for the camp, became severely ill and unconscious. His clothes became soiled. Mataji came and cleaned him, because washed all the clothes and hung them for drying. When I met Hridaya Asthaji, he started crying. I said, "Tell me, what is the problem? I shall nurse you. Why do you feel unhappy?" He said, "Mataji had come today. The fever was so high that I had soiled my clothes. Mataji washed me as well as my clothes. I am a big sinner." Next morning, when Mataji came, I told her, "Hridaya Asthaji is very unhappy. He was saying that Mataji cleaned me. I am a big sinner." Mataji said, "Son, does not a mother wash the clothes of her children? Just as Mrityunjay is my son, so also all of you are my sons. It is my duty that if a son falls ill, I nurse him. How does he become a sinner by making me nurse him?" Mataji used to look after all the devotees at the workshop, just like a mother looking after her child. Whenever a Shivir ended, there was a holiday for next 2 days. Those were summer days. I and all the devotees used to go to Akhand Jyoti Sansthan for lunch. Mataji herself used to prepare lunch and feed all like a mother feeding her children. Everyone used to come and go walking. Once it was summer day and there was no Shivir. Because of the heat, I did not go to Akhand Jyoti Sansthan for lunch. In the afternoon, heat, Mataji brought lunch for me in a tiffin box. When she came, I said, "Mataji, I gave you too much trouble. You had to come because I became lazy due to the heat." Mataji said, "Son, I was about to sit for lunch when I remembered you, and when you have not taken lunch, how can I eat?" Mataji had so much love for me. She would tell everyone that I am her son, and everyone coming to the workshop thought so. Such was Mataji, who became the mother for the entire world. She had tied everyone with her love. If every mother feels that way, then our country will achieve great heights. Today's mother accepts only that her child is her own, who is born to her, and not any other. Mataji taught everyone by her conduct. Her love was for everyone. Even today, not only I, but all the brothers and sisters of the mission remember her. By having such a mother, we all feel blessed. Audio 6. Training in Taste Control. During the spiritual training courses in the Gayatri Tapobhumi, Panchagavya was taken by the devotees. This consisted of milk, curd, ghee, cow's urine, and a juice of cow dung. The spiritual power was roused by performing Kalp Sadhana and Chandrayan Vrat. The devotees were unhappy over taking Panchagavya because they did not have the practice of taking it. But who will not take the divine offering given by Revered Gurudev? And again, Gurudev's instruction had to be obeyed. One day, unknown to Revered Gurudev, we prepared a plan to bring back the taste in the mouth. We called a Thandai wala. In those days, a glass of Thandai cost 25 paise. We asked him to come daily and serve the thandai. The taste returned to everyone's mouth. Everyone praised me, and this went on secretly for a few days. But one day the secret was exposed. When Gurudev came to know from somewhere that people are drinking thandai in Gayatri Tapobhumi, he became very angry, and I became the target of his anger. Revered Mataji controlled him, else, if he had a stick, he would have certainly beaten me with it. Revered Mataji said, "What is the fault of this son? He arranged only thandai and not poison to drink." Gurudev told me, "I have controlled my tongue for 24 years and for such a long time have taken only barley roti and buttermilk daily. Spiritual journey is not a joke. What an amount of endurance is required for bringing the senses under control. If you cannot undertake this small application, then how will your spiritual endeavor succeed? For health and endeavor, it is best to give up salt and sugar." For days, Gurudev used to remind me of my mistake. Thus, my wayward mind became cultivated in the presence of Guru Sakta. Gurudev and Mataji used to work together. Before Gurudev's lecture, Mataji used to sing a religious song in the Shivir and then went to Akhand Jyoti to prepare lunch for all the devotees and feed them. After feeding the devotees, Mataji and Gurudev together cleaned the utensils and plates. After that, Mataji opened the letters received by post and read them out to Gurudev, who would keep writing answers to them. Then Mataji would stick stamps on all the outgoing letters. Then in the evening, she would once again prepare the meals. In this way, Mataji considered her work as her religion. I have never seen the kind of generosity which Mataji had. Those men and women who had the good fortune to meet Mataji, they all know the extent of love which Mataji had for them. I used to consider myself very lucky. For 3 years I stayed at Mathura near her, and throughout those 3 years, 8 meals prepared by her only. After her going to Hardwar, whenever I went there, I ate meals prepared by her only. Every mother should learn from her life and should understand that doing one's duty is itself a religious conduct. Throughout the day, Mataji was busy fulfilling her tasks. Auspicious start of Yug Nirman Vidyalaya. One day Gurudev told me, "Now it is my desire to start a school and teach boys. Man is made of body and spirit. For the body, a house, food and money is necessary. For that, there should be arrangement in the school for training in small cottage industries. Any boy leaving the school will be able to fill his belly properly. The problem of the present rampant unemployment will be solved. For the spirit or the soul, we shall increase good qualities in them by moral education. Every boy leaving the school will have the strength of character." Gurudev further said, "My school will be the only one of its kind in India. In all schools and colleges in India, education is given. With education in these schools and colleges, a man can become a doctor, engineer, etc. But there is no progress in good qualities." Gurudev said, "We will have an adjustment of Shiksha and Vidya." I asked Gurudev, "What is Vidya?" Gurudev said, "Vidya means inculcation and advancement of good qualities. Shiksha nurtures the body. Vidya nurtures the soul. Today, every individual is working for nurturing his body, glorifying his body, and protecting his body. He is not aware of the soul. Vidya provides strength to the soul." I said, "Gurudev, there is not a single school of this kind in India." Gurudev wrote an article in this connection in the Akhand Jyoti Patrika, and the first batch was of 15 to 16 students. Teachers were kept for imparting training in radio, printing press, small scale industries, and moral education was imparted by Gurudev himself. At that time, there was no arrangement for canteen, and all the students used to cook their food themselves. Gurudev cleaned dog stools. On the ground floor of the school, the boys were staying in some rooms. One day, a dog passed stools over there, and the boys called me and started shouting, "Sir, a dog has passed stools. No one from us has cleaned it up." We were thinking of calling a sweeper to clean it. While we were thinking of a plan for cleaning it up, Gurudev came there. The children started shouting, "Gurudev, a dog has dirtied this place." I told Gurudev, "We are organizing a cleanup for this." Gurudev went nearby, where construction was going on, picked up a shovel, and cleaned up with it. We were all dumbstruck and felt ashamed at our behavior. Arrival of Keshav Nandiji in the Shivir. Shivers were being held in Tapubhumi. In one Shivir, Swami Keshav Nandiji from Rajasthan came. Whenever he talked to Gurudev, I too used to be there to listen. He was telling Gurudev, "I renounced my home, went to the Himalayas, and spent 10 years in spiritual meditation, but never got peace of mind. On the contrary, the lack of peace went on increasing. I thought I had unnecessarily given up home and could not get the benefits which I should have got by spiritual devotion." Swamiji added, "I returned from Himalayas to Rajasthan and started thinking there is great lack of education in Rajasthan. So I went from home to home, begged for just one handful of grains, and sold the grains thus collected. With the money thus collected, I kept a teacher. There was no school building, so I started teaching the village children under a tree. After that, arrangements for a building were also made. This way, I have opened several schools in Rajasthan. When the children's education started, all the men and women started helping me." He added, "Today in the Sangriya area of Rajasthan, I have started several colleges with hard work. When the election for the parliament were held, all the people in the area asked me to contest the elections. I refused and said that I did not wish to get involved in all the complications. But people from all the area held meetings and decided that Swamiji had done a lot of service to them. Where there was no existence of schools, Swamiji had given education to our children. It was decided in those meetings that no one should stand against Swamiji as a candidate. Swamiji was elected uncontested to the Lok Sabha and was a member of the parliament for 10 years. Then Swamiji refused to contest the election and plunged headlong in service to education. Swamiji told all this to Gurudev and I heard it. When I was able to meet Swamiji alone, I asked, "You are yourself a monk. How is it that you came here to attend a shivir?" Swamiji said, "I am only a karma yogi, and by my work or labor have done so much work in Rajasthan. But I have come here for learning Gyan Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. I am only a karma yogi." But Acharya is a combination of all three. He is a karma yogi, Gyan yogi, and a Bhakti yogi. He has fully achieved all three. From the time I came here and read his book, there is a big improvement in my knowledge. I have renounced the world, whereas Acharya is a sannyasi even though he is a householder. Sannyas means total renunciation. This I have learned from Acharya. I am wearing saffron robes, whereas his entire being formed of three bodies, Sthul, Sushma, and Karan, is perfect with the above three yogas, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Gyan Yoga. On coming here, my knowledge has vastly increased. You people living here with Acharya-ji do not know him fully. I know that Acharya-ji is Purn. Wherever I am, I daily bow down to him. My eyes were opened up by such talk of Swamiji Keshav Nandiji. I thought I'm blessed because I am staying with Gurudev. Audio 7. Training in Katha during the Shivers. A Katha is a spiritual story or tale about God or God's benevolence that is told during certain rituals. In the Shivers, Gurudev used to explain the philosophy of the Satnarayan Katha. He used to throw light on the philosophy of Ramayana. In those days, I used to take down notes when Gurudev gave lectures. Gurudev showed us what we have to learn from Satnarayan Katha, Gita Katha, and Ramayana Katha. These are full of teachings. If children are told these tales and these tales read out to them in the homes, our children will become cultured. He gave notes to us on the procedure for conducting the Havan and also on sacramental rites. I have also written a book on the manner in which Gurudev conducted the sacraments. Those who conduct sacraments should read it. Gayatri Yag at Bhusaval. One day, Gurudev came to Tapu Bhumi and told me, "Son, you have to go to Bhusaval where other Pandits are performing a yagya. We have no branch there, but only one man called Sardar Singh. He has asked for allotment of some time for lecture in the yagya, so you go there." I said, "Gurudev, where is Bhusaval? I don't know anybody there. Also, the yagya is arranged by others who are not members of our mission, and there is only one member of our mission. What can I speak at such a place?" Gurudev said, "Son, I have told you so many times to do my work. Do as I tell you. Employ your body, mind, and intelligence in my work. I am with you." Upon Gurudev's order, I prepared to go to Bhusaval. Gurudev said that when the train halts at Bhusaval, I should talk to a person holding a yellow flag. I reached Bhusaval and talked to Sardar Singh, who was holding a yellow flag. He took me to his bungalow, where I took my bath, had lunch, and took rest. The yagya was of the one kund type and was being performed by the priests. In the evening, Sardar Singh said, "Come, we have to go for the lecture," and I went with him. There we sat behind among the public. I was listening to the lectures of the other Pandits and learned people. After their lectures, one person from the stage announced on the mic, "If anyone has come from Gayatri Parivar, he may also please come on the stage. He has been allotted 10 minutes for speech." Along with Sardar Singh, I went on the stage. I remembered Gurudev, recited the Gayatri Mantra. I had Gurudev's lecture on Ramayan and during the journey had gone on remembering it. I spoke there on Ramayan, and as soon as 10 minutes were over, I stopped the lecture and said that the time allotted to me is over and stopped talking. The members of the intelligent audience raised their voices saying, "This Panditji's lecture will not be stopped." The persons conducting the meeting said, "Tomorrow we will arrange the lecture." The public said, "The lecture will go on now only. We have given the money." The shouting continued. The people conducting the meeting requested me to continue my lecture. I said that this lecture will take a long time. People said, "Howsoever long the time, I should give the lecture." The lecture on Ramayan was so spellbinding that the whole audience said that they had not heard such a wonderful lecture on Ramayan until that day. Ramayan's theme of family relationship was explained in the entire lecture. The public praised it very much. Now I was surrounded by people on the stage. They started asking me whether I can perform yagya. I said I'm a Pandit and it is my duty to perform yagya. The public shouted, "Tomorrow this Panditji will perform the yagya." The other priest objected, saying that if the Pandit from Mathura performs the yagya, they will jump into the yagya kund and commit suicide. But the public objected and said, "Who are you to object? If you do not listen to us and object to the yagya, then we will not call all the priests here for our various ritual work and will not keep relations with any of these priests in the future." In the end, the priests had to agree and said, "In the morning, this priest from Gayatri mission will perform the yagya." I announced from the stage that all the men and women should come in the morning for the yagya after taking a bath. The people were surprised and said that over here only the priests perform the yagya, whereas this priest from the Gayatri mission is asking everyone to perform the yagya. In the morning, they all came after their morning bath into the yagya pandal. The men were officers. No one of them had worn the dhoti. They were all dressed in pants and shirts. For a moment, I thought of asking them to perform the yagya in the traditional dhoti, and again thought, how can I arrange for so many dhotis and none of them will be knowing how to wear the dhoti? I went ahead with the yagya and all the men and women performed the yagya. They were all very pleased and said that the yagya should be performed in this way. Gurudev has written the method of performing the yagya in a very lucid manner. When the men and women were reciting the prayers of Gayatri Mata and Yagya Bhagwan, there were tears in their eyes. They all purchased one book each of the method of performing the yagya, because Gurudev had written to Sardar Singh to order Gayatri literature from Mathura and keep it in the stall at Bhusawal. He said, if the lecture does not take place, no harm. At least my thoughts will spread. The next day, all the literature was sold out. In the night, my lecture was arranged, but instead the Yagya committee asked a girl to speak on Ramayana. But the people raised a hue and cry and insisted that the lecture should be only by the priest of the Gayatri mission. I recited the Gayatri mantra and remembered Gurudev. This time the lecture was on Gita. I had read many times Gurudev's lecture on Gita. The people were impressed so much by the lecture on Gita that they started saying that they had not seen such a learned person till that day. Not only have we not heard such a lecture so far, but so far there was no priest performing such a fine yagya who involved all the men and women in the yagya. After the lecture, there was such a large crowd around me that with great difficulty some people were able to escort us out. On the first day, the local priest had conducted the yagya. The second day, I conducted the yagya. And on the third concluding day, there was such a large crowd that it became difficult to control. I made all of them give up on one bad habit. So many gave up bidi, cigarette, liquor, meat eating, and adultery, and in its place, adopted one habit, good habit. This created a good impression on the people of Bhusawal. After the conclusion of the yagya, I told the priests that now the yagya is concluded and anyone who desires may jump into the holy kund. All the priests were ashamed. Aditya Kumar Singh, who now looks after the Shakti Peeth and works day and night for the mission, came to the mission after that episode. At that very time the branch was formed, I returned to Mathura. The men and women came to give me a farewell at the station and decorated with flowers the railway coach in which I was sitting. The railway officers arranged accommodation for me in a small compartment within the coach, and no one else was allowed in this compartment. They instructed the guard and the engine driver that they should make arrangements for tea and snacks for me. At various stations, the railway officers gave me a warm welcome. When the guard and the driver changed, they told the next guard and the driver to look after me. They did so right up to Mathura, where they took my luggage and came with me right up to the rickshaw. Throughout the journey, I was remembering that I was never able to understand how Saint Gyaneshwar was able to make a buffalo recite the Vedic mantras. But now I was able to understand that just as Gurudev made a person of lesser intelligence like me great with his powers, similarly, Saint Gyaneshwar was able to make the buffalo recite the Vedic mantras. The entire public of Bhusawal welcomed me as a learned priest. Now I understood that Gurudev has the power to make a small person great. I thought, I have met such a guru who has removed my ignorance, and I am very lucky. When I had gone to Gurudev, he had told me, Son, you do my work. I will look after the rest, and you will feel that I and Reverend Mataji are always with you. If anyone looks at you in a wrong manner, we will remove his eyes. Even today, I do not feel that I am alone. Gurudev is with me. My master is protecting me in every way. Because of this, my fear has gone. How can he be afraid of thieves who has got a protector with him? Now I always feel that I am not alone, and my Gurudev and revered Mataji are always with me. Only because of that I am able to carry out such big tasks. The road is open to every man and woman. Each one can become learned. Gurudev was not an individual but a power. Employ at least 2 hours of your time in spreading his thoughts. Gayatri means good thoughts and Yajna means good deeds. These should be adopted in our lives. These are Gurudev's Gayatri and Yajna. It will not do merely to perform Yajna. One should lead a Yagi life. Yajna is just a symbol. This program at Bhusawal increased my courage. Audio 8. The Panch Kundiya Yag at Sarangi. One day, Gurudev told me, there are some workers near Pitlad. They have kept a 5 Kund Yag at Sarangi. You go there. I said, Gurudev, where is Sarangi? How shall I go there? He called the workers at Tapobhumi, inquired from them and told me that I should go to Ratlam, from there go by train to Bamania station, and from there go by bus to Sarangi. It will take 4 hours to reach Sarangi from Bamania. I bought a ticket and left by train. In the morning, around 8 o'clock, I got down at Bamania, which was in a jungle and where even water was not available. It was summertime. I came out of the station and inquired about the bus for Sarangi. One person told me that only one goes in the evening, but there is no morning bus. He said, I will have to wait till 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the station itself. I came back to the station and sat there thinking that today I am badly trapped. Not even water is there for drinking. It is summer and I do not even have a container of water. I was very upset. Around 11 o'clock, the station master went to his quarters and I too went behind him. On reaching there, I told him, Sir, I am very thirsty. Please give me some water. I shall be very grateful. He looked at me, brought a glass full of water, and after I drank it, he asked, Did you have lunch? I said, even water is not available. Then how can one expect lunch? There is no shop here, so where can I take lunch? I want to go to Sarangi, but the bus is in the evening. Till then, I will wait at the station. If you could kindly arrange 1 bucketful of water for me, I shall be very grateful. He felt pity for me and said, Come inside my quarters. Have lunch with me and take rest in the quarters. Not only water, whatever you require, I shall arrange. Don't worry. He gave me lunch and water and made me rest on a cot in the quarters. He said, the bus will arrive at 4 o'clock, then go by it to Sarangi. Mentally, I thanked Gurudev for making arrangements for me in the deep jungle. That increased my confidence. I thought that in this yagya also I am being tested. The bus arrived at 4 in the afternoon. I went to the station master and his wife to bow down to them and folded hands and said, I'm very grateful to you for giving me shelter. And as a result, I was saved from trouble. The station master said, it is our duty. We have not done any favor to you. He added, when you return from Sarangi, please come and meet me. Do not worry about anything. I thought, such a person is not just a human being, but a deity. The bus reached about 7:30 in the night at Sarangi. I got down from the bus with my bedroll and my tin box. I asked one person, where is the Yagya Pandal where a Gayatri Yag will be performed? He asked, from where have you come? I said, I have come from Mathura in the Yagya. He said, do not talk about the Yagya to anyone. It is all right that you talk to me about it. I asked, what is the matter? Why should I not talk about the Yagya? He said, 51 priests have come from Ratlam and they have beaten and driven away the members of the Petlad branch and others who had come here for the Yagya and have thus stopped it. 51 priests only are performing the Yagya. During the day, Yagya is performed and at night, Ram Leela is held. Your welfare lies in going back by some bus. For that reason, I told you all this. Saying it, he went away. I was wondering where to spend the night. In the meanwhile, a good person came along and asked me, to whom have you come? By your talk, you seem to be a gentle person. I said, I have come to you only. He said, I do not even know you. Then how have you come to me? I said, I have come to you only. Hearing this, he started walking away. Carrying my luggage, I too went after him. After walking for some time, he asked again, tell me the truth, where are you going? I told him, I'm telling you the truth, that I am coming with you only. He waited for a while and said to me, when you are coming to my home only, give me the box. I gave him the box and walked behind him with my bedroll. We reached home. He was a poor man. In front of the building there was a thatched roof under which was a cot. He made me sit on it. His was not a solid house of cement bricks, but a weak structure. He went inside and brought water for me, which I drank. When dinner was ready, he said, come take dinner. I went with him to take dinner, which consisted of corn, roti and vegetable. While I was taking dinner, he said, Maharaj, there is cow milk. If you say, I will bring some. I said, okay, bring the milk. He brought a glass full of milk and said, I have jaggery. If you wish, take some in your milk. I said, jaggery is good for health. Bring the jaggery. He brought the jaggery, which I mixed in the milk, and then crushed and mixed the roti in it and ate the meal. The meal was so tasty that even a royal dinner would not have tasted like this. After the dinner, I lay down on the cot. He finished his dinner and came. He said to me, Sir, a yagya has been performed over here, for which 51 priests have come from Ratlam. They are performing the yagya. It was arranged by the members of Gayatri Parivar, but those pandits have taken forcible possession. Those priests only are conducting the yagya and offering oblations. They do not utter the Gayatri mantra, but mentally recite it. The quarrel is over this point of reciting the mantra mentally. He said, Ram Leela is held at night. Come with me to see the Ram Leela. I said, I will certainly come to see the Ram Leela. While going, we were talking also. He said, you are a priest from Mathura. You must be knowing how to lecture also. I said, yes, I do give lectures. We reached where Ram Leela was being held, but the performance had not started. That person talked with the organizer of Ram Leela and told him about me and got some time allowed for my lecture. Ram Leela started. After some time, I was called where the actors were sitting dressed as Ram, Lakshman, and Mother Sita. I prostrated myself before them. Nearby, a chair was given to me for sitting. I said, I will give my lecture by sitting on the floor of the stage, but I will not sit on a chair in front of Lord Ram. When I said this, the actor dressed as Ram said, No, you will sit on the chair and give your lecture. I said, When Lord Ram himself is saying, then I must sit on the chair. I sat on the chair, recited the Gayatri Mantra, remembered Gurudev, and started a lecture on Ramayana itself. I said this only. We should learn from the life of Bhagwan Ram, and those who see Ram Leela must adopt its teaching in their personal lives. Only then they will get the benefit of seeing the Ram Leela. I went on speaking about whatever teachings of Ramayana I had learned from Gurudev. The half hour allowed to me was over. I stopped my lecture then. I said, I was allowed half an hour and the time is over now. Upon this, the public started shouting, No, Panditji's lecture will go on tonight itself. I said, the lecture will take 1 more hour. Then the people shouted, Not only 1 hour, even if it takes 2 hours, we have no objection. I once again started the lecture. What are the duties of mother and father, of brothers towards each other, of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law? What is the duty of the society? He only is religious who fulfills his duties. Today, we are not seeing the duties being performed by those who are singing devotional songs, doing worship, and seeing Ramayana as Ram Leela. Only that person gets spiritual benefit who adopts the teachings of Ramayana in his life. Sacramental rites were carried out for all the 4 brothers, Bhagwan Ram, Bharat, Lakshman, and Shatrughan, during various ages in their lives. You, my brothers, should also get such rites performed for your children. The children then will be cultured. I told them about the full teachings of Ramayana and said, seeing Ram Leela will be meaningful only when Bhagwan Ram's ideals are adopted in life. The local public was very pleased by understanding the aims of Ramayana. Now I started speaking about the priest and said, You, my brothers and sisters, don't know, but I am a Pandit and know all about priest work. We priests do not recite the Gayatri Mantra loudly because all the priests sitting in the yajna do not know the mantra. You only tell me, when 10 and 11 priests are sitting in the yajna, all utter the mantra mentally, then how can their recitation end together at one time only? All of you brothers and sisters, here try to recite the Gayatri Mantra mentally and see for yourself. Some will finish early, some will finish late. If that is the case, then how can they speak Swaha together during oblation? This is wrong, and its reason is that all the priests do not know how to recite the Gayatri Mantra. They call their relatives and their family members, make them sit here and ask them to recite the Veds. You must have observed that the volume of Veds is kept open in front of them, and instead of reading the Veds sincerely, they keep on telling whosoever comes, get the snack prepared properly. Today halwa must be prepared. Their attention is fixed on the food only. If you wish, you can call the priests performing the yajna and the Ved part. All of them will not be able to recite. None of the Ved part priests know their recitation. They are only the priests taking donations and eating lunches, and they fool the ignorant public for their own selfishness. You can call all the 51 priests from Ratlam, and if my version is not right, Then you give me any punishment that you wish. The young men in the audience liked my talk very much. Today's boys do not like false talk, such as Ram did this, Krishna has done that. He wishes we should do so and so, etc., etc. When I told about calling the priest, then all understood the significance and said in one voice, "Call the priest. We will all make a call. All of them recite the Gayatri mantra in front of all." When the priests heard about this, they realized the truth because only half of them were knowing the mantra. They all ran away in the night. The boys searched for the priest, but they were not to be found. They came back and said, "The priests are not there." On hearing that, they will have to recite the Gayatri mantra, they ran away. Now the local public told me, "Panditji, our priests have ran away. Your lecture has made a great impression upon us. Can you conduct the yajna?" I said, "Why not? I am a priest and it is my duty to perform the yajna." I told the public, "Tomorrow morning the yajna will be performed. Tomorrow morning all of you, my brothers and sisters, come after taking bath and changing clothes. The yajna will be performed by all of you." The people asked, "Panditji, can we perform the yajna?" I said, "Why not? Everyone has the right to perform the yajna." In the morning, the public came after taking a bath. I conducted the yajna and made everyone sit for the yajna. When people heard my method of performing the yajna, they were very much pleased. They all said, "Yajna should be like this. The priests used to fool us." When the young men performed the yajna, they were very much pleased. They gathered and said, "Let us search out priests and make them recite these mantras. If they are not able to recite, then they should be beaten." The boys searched in each and every home, but the priests had vanished. Now the local people were warmly welcomed, made very good arrangements for accommodation and food, and they started lingering around me. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I had a talk with the people, including young men and boys, and organized a branch there. The people of the village were very much pleased and said, "The society today requires such priests." In the evening, I gave a lecture which impressed the people very much. In the meanwhile, the other priests were roaming hungry and thirsty in the jungle. At night, when I was alone, one of them came to me and said, "We do not have money. At least arrange for our fare. We will be grateful to you. We shall reach our homes." I said, "In future, wherever there is a Gayatri Yajna, do not behave in the manner which you behave with the members of Gayatri Parivar." They begged pardon, and I called the local boys and told them, "He is a priest. He has made a mistake and is requesting to be pardoned. He will ask for pardon once again in front of you all also. Now forgive him, give him the fare to Ratlam." The priests received their fare and returned to Ratlam. "They learnt a good lesson," I said. "In the morning the yajna will be conducted, and all my brothers and sisters, you have to give me a dakshina. I don't want money in the offerings. You have to give up one bad habit and take one good habit. The number of bad habits that you have given up, I will tell my Guru that people of Sarangi have given up so many bad habits, have given so much dakshina, then Gurudev will be very happy." Gurudev used to tell me in the yajna, dakshina is to be taken of bad habits and not money. That is why I am asking you to give up your bad habit. During the whole day, I met the people of the village, visited those who were ill, asked everyone about their family members. All said, "Panditji, we feel that we are connected with you since so many births. Now it's time for me to go." The people of the village, men, women, and children, covered me with garlands. Despite refusal, They forced rupees 1100 on me as farewell money. Audio 9. When I was leaving, the whole village was crying. Those boys who had acted as Ram, Lakshman, Bharat were also present. It was as if Lord Ram was leaving Ayodhya to go to the jungle. There were tears in many eyes also. When I showed my love to the people there, they also loved me in return. Men and women specially came with me in 2 buses up to Bamania. On reaching Bamania station, I met the station master and told all the people who had accompanied me that he is not a station master, he is a saint, he is a rishi. He has showered many favors upon me. Otherwise, I would have remained hungry and thirsty in the jungle. All the men touched the station master's feet and garlanded him. The station master asked, "What is all this?" I said, "This is the fruit of goodness. You did your duty. I did not know you at all. You behaved with me as if we both have been born of the same mother." They all escorted me to the train. Throughout the journey, I was thinking, what has Gurudev made of me? I took the help of Gurudev and he made me just like him. Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Krishna were made what they were by their gurus. I was also made by my guru. All the scriptures have praised the importance of guru's powers. If the guru desired, he can turn a small ant into an elephant and a grain of mustard into a mountain. Dedicate your body, mind, intelligence, whatever belonging to you, to your guru's work and get all the powers of your guru. Here the principle of give and take works. Only yagya and garlands will not do. Taking the help of the guru, any person can rise high like me. How high does a creeper rise when it takes the aid of a tree? When a puppet takes the help of a hand, what wonderful actions does it perform? With the help of a finger, a kite flies high in the sky. By taking the help of the guru, one can become like the guru. But there is only one condition for that, and it is real surrender. Your body, intelligence, mind, money, whatever is with you, has to be employed in Guru's work. When I returned to Tapobhumi, I told the full story to Gurudev and Mataji. Gurudev said, "Be fearless and do my work. I shall always be with you. I shall speak through your voice. I am always thinking that I am not alone. Gurudev and Mataji both are with me. I constantly think of them and worship their feet. Gurudev always used to tell me that whenever you get good thoughts, understand that you are reciting Gayatri Mantra, and when you are doing good deeds, then understand that you are performing Yagya. Good thoughts and good deeds only are Gayatri and Yagya. Gayatri and Yagya are only symbols. The main aim is to change our thoughts. Problems cannot be solved until the thoughts change. Mental treatment of Seji through good thoughts. One day, Gurudev came in the morning from Akhand Jyoti to Gayatri Tapobhumi. After some time, a Seth was brought to Gurudev by his family members. Sethji, eyes were red and expression on his face was of a madman. He was a resident of Agra. The family members said, "Gurudev, we have heard that you are a devotee of Gayatri and whomsoever you bless gets the benefit. Sethji is our father. He has not slept for the last 1 week and has given up food and water. He is behaving like a madman. Please bless him so that he may recover." Gurudev took Sethji to a nearby room. I too went with them. Gurudev sat down and made the Sethji sit near him. I went and stood nearby. Gurudev asked Sethji, "Son, what is your trouble? Tell me, I will remove your trouble." But Sethji did not speak. just sat there with shut mouth. Gurudev coaxed him again and again. Son, tell me, I will remove all your troubles. But Sethji kept mum. For nearly half an hour, Gurudev went on coaxing and telling him, Son, tell me what your troubles are. I will show you the solution to your problem. After half an hour, Sethji said, Gurudev, I am in deep trouble. Gurudev said, Tell me, what is your problem, son? I will show you the solution. Sethji said, Gurudev, I had a clerk. I had removed him from service. The clerk has filed a complaint against me with the police, and police has taken all my books of account. Gurudev, I can be fined 1 million rupees. Gurudev said, Son, on hearing this, even my mind is reeling. With this incident, your mind would surely go out of order. Gurudev said, Son, let's go to Akhand Jyoti Sansthan, and took the Sethji with him. His family members remained with me in Tapobhumi. Gurudev used to come to Tapobhumi in the evening also. He came around 4 o'clock, but Sethji was not with him. His family members asked me, Gurudev has not brought our father. Where did he leave him? They were all worried. When they repeatedly asked me, I said, Gurudev, where is Sethji? His family members are asking, they are very much upset. Gurudev said, Son, he had not slept for 1 week. He is sleeping now, and I have left him as such and come here. I told this to the family members. In the evening, Gurudev went to Akhand Jyoti. The family members stayed with me at Tapobhumi. In the morning, Gurudev and Sethji returned from Akhand Jyoti. They entered Tapobhumi laughing loudly. I and his family members just gaped. I was thinking that up to yesterday, the man who could not sleep or smile, how happy he is today. How did Gurudev make him all right? After remaining for some time at Tapobhumi, Sethji went back to Agra along with his family members. When Gurudev was sitting alone, I went to him and asked, Gurudev, Sethji was so cheerful because you blessed him and gave him benefit of 1 million rupees. In those days, we required money for Tapobhumi. I told Gurudev, bless me also because so many works are incomplete in Tapobhumi for the lack of money. Gurudev laughed and said, Son, I have not done anything to him. One screw of my head was loose. I just made it okay. I said, Gurudev, the screw of many a head is also loose. Please make it okay, just as you did to the Seth. Gurudev said, Son, you were sitting near us in the room. You have heard everything there. I said, Yes, Gurudev. I have heard the tale up to the mention of the fine of rupees 10 lakhs. Gurudev said, I took him with me to Akhand Jyoti and made him sit near me. Then I took a paper and pen. I asked how many children you have, how many daughter-in-laws, how many grandsons and granddaughters. What are they doing? Sethji went on telling me, I have 4 sons. Each one is looking after his shop and the business is doing very well. Everyone in the family is happy. I asked how many buildings you have, how many shops, what is their value, how much is the jewelry, bank balance, what is the value of jewelry. Sethji went on giving the answers. When I totaled the value of his buildings, shops, jewelry, bank balance, the amount came to rupees 90 lakhs. Sethji said, Yes, Gurudev, that much is there. So I said, Son, suppose you are fined rupees 10 lakhs, even then rupees 80 lakh remains. Gurudev said, Son, with 80 lakhs, everything will run smoothly. Sethji said, Yes, Gurudev. Then I said, Why did you trouble your mind so much? And troubled mine also. I shall pray to Gayatri Mata for you. Upon this, Sethji started smiling. I said, What a small matter it was. Come on, let us take lunch. We had lunch together, and I asked him to take rest, and I came to Tapobhumi. That's all. I merely changed his method of thinking, so all his trouble vanished, and he left happily from here for Agra. Son, I only changed his method of thinking and have done nothing else. After some time, Sethji came to Tapobhumi at Mathura. Gurudev was at Tapobhumi and Sethji was very much pleased. He touched the feet of Gurudev. Gurudev said, "Tell me, son, what happened about your case?" Sethji said, "Here you had made my thinking straight. I went to Agra, met the police there, and had to give some money to them. All my work was done. They returned my papers of unofficial dealings and the case was cancelled. Then I started my business again, and Gurudev, this year I made a profit of 2 lakh rupees. I wish to offer some ornaments to Gayatri Mata and want to offer Kalash on the top of the temple." The Kalash was put on the top of the temple and the jewelry offered to Gayatri Mata. Seeing this, I thought, there is a lot of power in thoughts. Thoughts can make a man's downfall and thoughts can uplift a man. Man is nothing but made up of thoughts. Gurudev said, "Son, man can become a sage, a deity, and even God with thoughts. And with thoughts, only a man can become a dacoit or a robber. That is why I have started the Vichar Kranti movement. Men give a very big form to insignificant matters and then they become problems. See, the Seth's matter was so small, but by wrong thinking he turned himself mad. If I had not guided him, he would have died and his business destroyed. I have written my entire literature for cleaning the thoughts only. Every person's problems can be solved with whatever literature I have written. There will be a heaven in the home of any individual who will read my literature. A man should be vyast and mast. So I wish to create a new world with thoughts. You have to do only one work. You have to spread my thoughts from home to home. That is real service to me. You don't have to see, but you have to read. One who is a show-off does not have proper understanding. He merely satisfies his ego. That very day I decided that whatever be the obstacles, even if only 5 persons help me, I will spread Gurudev's thoughts from home to home. From that time, I am involved in spreading Gurudev's thoughts. Day and night my thinking is about how to spread his thoughts. Gurudev said, if problems are to be sorted out, they can be solved only with my thoughts, whether you do it today or after 100 years. Gayatri means high thinking and Yajna means service to others. So long as a person will have base thoughts and remain selfish, till that time problems can never be solved. If Shankaracharya had obeyed his mother, he would have remained a priest or at best a reputed storyteller of holy tables, but would not have become Shankaracharya. His thoughts made him not only Shankaracharya, but an incarnation of Lord Shiva. Had Vivekananda accepted service, he would have become only a head clerk. He would not have become the spiritual teacher who spread India's culture in foreign countries. If Guru Nanak had done business, he would have become the owner of 3-4 shops, but would not have become a great and a guru of the Sikhs. Had Gandhi practiced law, he would have earned 2 to 4 lakhs rupees, but would not have become Mahatma Gandhi. Son, there is great power in thoughts. Whosoever reads my thoughts, he will definitely benefit. One who limits himself to mere worship, offering food to the deities, offering garlands and performing yag, etc., will always remain empty handed. I wish that my children do not limit themselves with the performance of yagya only, but lead a yagyi life. Whosoever employs even a small part of his time in spreading my thoughts, he will definitely receive my blessings. I and Revered Mataji will always be with you. Be fearless and involve yourself in my task. Just as Sethji's trouble was removed and he got good benefit, similarly, all will get it. Audio 10. Panch Kundi Yagya at Kataina Harsha. One day, Gurudev came along with Mataji to Tapobhumi and said, Son, Mataji will look after the work of shivers over here. You have to go to Kataina Harsha. Daughter Shri Devi is alone there, but takes great interest in the mission's work. She has arranged a 5 Kundi Yagya and you have to go there. I said, Gurudev, where is Kataina Harsha? And I do not even know Shri Devi. Gurudev said, go by bus from here to Shikohabad. It is about 10 to 12 miles from there. You must go. I said, Gurudev, I will go now. I have no worry. You are always there with me. I went by bus to Shikohabad and asked the rickshaw drivers whether they'll take me to Kataina Harsha. They said, we can take you. You will have to pay 20 rupees. I said 20 rupees is too much. 20 rupees was a lot of money in those days. I said, I cannot give this amount of money. There was one man standing there. I asked him, where is Kataina Harsha? He said, go along the irrigation canal. I held the bedroll under my arm, took my tin box in another hand and started walking. The rickshaw driver first came down to 10 rupees and then came down to 5. I said, now I want to go walking only. I kept the bedroll on my shoulder, held the tin box in one hand and walked all the way to Kataina Harsha. I asked the village people, where is Shri Devi's house? They said outside the village, she has some land. There she has constructed a temple. There itself she has her house also. They gave me directions for going there. I carried my luggage and went to Shri Devi and gave her the letter from Gurudev. She took my luggage and kept it in the hall and made me sit on a cot. She sat down on the floor and told me, Sir, this is the village of the Thakurs. I decided to perform the yagya here, but all the people here objected to the yagya, forbade me to perform the yagya, saying that I am a girl and that yagya should be performed by priests only. The whole village is objecting. So how can we perform the yagya here? I said, Sister, first I want to take bath. She give me a bucket and a lota. She asked me to go to the well nearby and take a bath. I said, Sister, please prepare lunch for me. I shall return soon after the bath. Shri Devi prepared dal roti. I enjoyed that meal, had a hearty lunch, and slept on the cot in the hall. After my nap, I told Shri Devi, we must perform the yagya. Shri Devi said, not even a single person from the village supports me. How can we perform the yagya? I said, Sister, you and I, both brother and sister, will together perform the yagya. Hearing this, Shri Devi became quiet. Then said, Sir, there is no arrangement here. There is no pandal also for the yagya. How shall we conduct the yagya? I saw that there was a big tree in front of Shri Devi's house. I said, we shall prepare 5 kunds under this tree. You arrange for the bricks. Shri Devi said, I have already got the bricks, and showed me the mound of bricks behind the house. I said, Sister, you will have to help me carrying the bricks. Together we shall prepare the yagya kunds. We brought the bricks from behind the house to the tree. Then came the evening. I had dinner. Next morning I went to the well. All round there were jungle and fields. I finished my bath and my Sandhya Vandan near the well itself and came back to the house. I was sitting in the hall when Sri Devi brought a glass of milk. I asked, "Why did you bring the milk?" She said, "Sir, I have not paid for it. The milk is from our cow." The milk refreshed me. Sri Devi's father came there. I bowed down to him. He blessed me and said, "I have only one daughter and she has become a widow. Day and night she is engrossed in reciting Gayatri Mantra. She goes to the village also, but nobody listens to her. Now she wants to perform the yagya, but the villagers are not giving her support." I said, "Father, Nehruji also had a daughter. Today she is famous. Your daughter will do you honor, and I too am your son. Brother and sister will together perform the yagya." Father said, "This is the village of Thakurs. They will quarrel. You are only two. I am old and will not be able to help you." I said, "Father, your blessings are enough. Do not worry." I told Sri Devi, "Sister, go on giving me the bricks. I shall prepare the Havan Kund." I prepared 5 Havan Kunds under the tree and prepared their boundary also and painted it with black, red, and yellow color. Then we had lunch, and after some rest, we anointed the floor with cow dung. Sri Devi was accustomed in anointing with cow dung because she used to do so in the home also. She did that beautifully, and the yagshala was ready. When the villagers heard about it, they came to see it. They would look and then go away. The local priest started objecting, saying, "Look now, even a woman has started doing the yagya. This is Ghor Kalyug." The villagers also objected. I told Sri Devi, "Sister, do not worry. Our Gurudev is with us and I have full faith in him. It will be a glorious yagya." I told Sri Devi to bring a takhat. She brought one stool. We kept it under the banyan tree. I asked her whether a mic can be arranged. She said, "In our temple, we sing kirtans every evening. There is a mic in the temple." Thus a mic was also arranged. I said, "Sister, this is a yagya of 5 kunds. You will have to arrange for 5 persons to sit for the yagya. At least one person has to be present on each kund." Sri Devi said, "Sir, myself, my father, and one servant, we 3 are there. 2 more will be required," I said. "We must arrange for 2 more persons." She said, "I have 2 friends, I will make them ready." I said, "Okay." In the morning, I asked Sri Devi, "Have you arranged for 5 persons?" She said, "Yes, we have 5 persons present here." I spread 5 mats near the kund and made them sit there, and all arrangements were being made. I said, "Sister, cover the takhat with a bedsheet and keep roti, rice, and 1 garland ready." Then I said, "Sister, now I will sit on the takhat. Now tell your father to bless me, apply tilak on my forehead, and put the garland around my neck. Only then will the yagya start." Accordingly, Sri Devi told her father, who put the tilak mark on my head, garlanded me, and 5 persons sat near the 5 kunds. Men and women from the village came to see. They were all standing. I started the yagya. The villagers who were standing there saw the entire activity. This method is so lucid that it impressed all who came to watch. They listened to the Aarti to Gayatri Mata and prayer to Yagya Bhagwan. They told others in the village that the yagya is being performed in a very fine manner. The next day, the whole village came to see the yagya. On the second day also, the proceedings of the yagya left a very big impression on the men and women, and there was a sort of commotion in the surrounding villages because of the yagya. On the third day, there was a big crowd and everyone was ready to sit for the yagya, which went up to 4 o'clock. On the fourth day also, the yajna went on for the whole day, and people from the surrounding villages took part in it. On the concluding day, nearly 250 persons took part. I announced that those who took part in the yajna had to give an offering. My Guru does not accept money. You have to make him an offering of one bad habit of yours and adopt one good habit. All the men and women who came there gave up one bad habit and adopted one good habit. Those who were opposing the yajna, they all started endorsing it and started saying, Shri Devi has done wonders for the village. All were praising Shri Devi. When it was time for me to go, the men and women of the village and people from the surrounding villages gathered there. That scene of farewell was worth seeing. A procession was taken out from the village. In every house I was garlanded and 2100 rupees were given in farewell. They came up to me up to Shikohabad. They wanted me to go in a vehicle up to Shikohabad, but I refused and said, I will walk with my brothers and sisters. Mentally, I was bowing down to Gurudev and Mataji and wondering about how my Guru changed me from a small person to an elevated human being. I became overwhelmed getting such a Guru. I walk without fear because my Guru has made me fearless. You too can take his help and become fearless. Guru will be with you. I came to Mathura and told him everything that had happened in Kataina Harsha. Gurudev said, Son, you have come to me. Now the mission's work will progress. Shri Devi is now a permanent resident of Shantikunj and working for the mission.